Thank God it's Friday. Ain't that what they say? Thank God it's Friday. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as you come into the live, don't forget to hit the like button and then put in the chat area what number you are. Okay? And we're going to do it this way to make sure there's no mistakes, no mix up because you know what I'm saying. All right, so that's the way it's going to be. All right. As far as the live tonight, I have some very important business I have to take care of. So I may and I may not make it back before it's over. I'm not exactly sure. But on that note, I am going to go ahead and have uh, meditation by Raina to come on in and get us started. And after that, it'll be Arthur. And after that, then I'm going to have to leave y'all until. And I don't know what until means. Until might mean until 3 a.m. All right. I may not get a chance to see y'all until tomorrow. However, we got to keep it moving, right? Right on. All right. Since my tripod is broken and I'm using this mini one, I'm holding it in my hand. So, you know, that's not going to work right. And um, pretty much, I don't think, no, there's nothing I can do about it. I was thinking, is there another way that I could do it? No, it's not. Okay, because if I take it off of this tripod and put it over there, then it's going to be sideways, and then you know, you know what they say, you can't win for losing. However, I think you can. I think sometimes losing is winning. Yeah, because you get the opportunity to see what happened when other people ahead of you. Okay, and they might end up in a situation that you was protected from. So don't think of everything as being a loss. Is being it's not a blessing. Sometimes being late for something blesses you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So take heed to that. If you don't feel that you're supposed to be someplace at a specific time and it's pressing your spirit, don't go or don't be there or wait. Listen to your spirit, God, angels, okay, your intuition, the spirit of discernment, because they will not steer you wrong. I don't know why my face look like I got trash or something on it. Might be this camera. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead on. All right, so let's see. At any given time, things can change for me. Okay. And I'm waiting for confirmation. If I don't get a confirmation that I don't need to leave, then I'm gonna have to leave y'all. All right. But I'm leaving you in good hands. I'm giving y'all another taste of Arthur. Nah. All right. Let's. I want to make sure because I don't want people to look for Arthur every day. Okay. As of today, Arthur will be on Thursdays, Fridays, and some Sundays. Okay. After that, on the 15th of July, Arthur will be mostly on the members channel only. Okay. Mostly on the members channel. But you will get the opportunity to see him on regular tarot. Okay. All right. And y'all check out some of the new stuff that came out. Okay. Let me know what you think about it. Appreciate you. All right. So who's the first person inside? I see there's one person here. All right. Don't forget to hit the like button and put it in the chat box what number you are. So when it's time to give you a personal reading, they know exactly who they're speaking with. Okay. And it'll be beneficial not just for you, but also for the reader. So he won't get your energy mixed up with someone else that's no longer in the live. All right. I appreciate y'all. Y'all are amazing people. Oh yeah. Hello, Mariana. Mariana Lopez. Okay, it's good to see you. What number are you, Mariana? Are you number one or number two? It should be highlighted and on your screen on a thumbs up. Awesome. Okay, great. All right. So when Arthur comes in, what he'll do is he'll go back and he'll scroll up on the chats and see what number is who so he can keep everything in order, if you don't mind. Uh, those that are not familiar with Arthur is a psychic medium. Okay. All right. He does tarot readings as well, but he connects more to the spiritual realm, to people that are no longer in their body. All right. Okay. So let's get started. Hello. Meditation by Raina.
10 seconds, folks.
So for you new people, if you're not aware, we try to have meditation around the midnight time. However, we starting a little early. So those that normally be asleep because they had a long week get the opportunity to experience some of this meditation by Raina. Awesome. Hello, Arthur. Arthur will be coming into the live right after the meditation starts ends. My apologies, after the meditation ends. It would be nice if all my moderators were present this evening, but those that are not able to come in, I do understand. Litzy, hello, Litzy. It is wonderful to see you. Welcome to Cut Above Tarot and welcome to the Cut Above Tarot community. Anyone that's not a member, if you care to look into the members section and see what the tiers are and the cost, you're more than welcome. Just tap that join button. And if you don't want to join and you want to just give someone a membership, you can do that too. Awesome. Thank you. Well, I love everybody, but let's see, I don't remember who you are. So, I'm going to have to keep watching you, huh? Has it been a while? Okay, are we ready? We're not doing no free advertisement. No free advertisement of no major companies.
My
We
bad.
are We're not being sponsored, ladies and gentlemen. So I want to put that
I
out
just
there.
yeah. Okay. Speaker issues. I'm not sure if that's clear.
That is wonderful. That is amazing. That is awesome right there. Oh, your first time, Lizzie. Amazing. Well, you are in for a treat. Okay, I'm getting ready to mute myself. And everyone, please enjoy the meditation. Thank you. Thank you, Lizzie. Okay, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
That's good right there. All the new people in the live will get a reading first. Okay, all new people. That's perfect.
Wow, I hear it. Let me see. Singing bowl.
That was beautiful. It's beautiful.
Hello, beautiful souls. Hello, beautiful souls. Sorry about that. I had my earphones plugged in by accident. I hope you can all hear me. Okay, I see the hearts there, so I assume that you can all hear me. Can someone put in the comment section so I can actually have a look, just to double confirm that you can all hear me? Okay. I would like to thank Raina for what she has done today. It was very, very lovely. I highly appreciate her and absolute love to her. Sounds good, thank you. That's all I needed, just a confirmation. The most important thing with developing our spirituality is the art of meditation. It helps us connect into our inner being and our inner guidance. And that's one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. The gift of your own intuition and stepping into your own authenticity. as I was sitting here listening to Raina on a different device, I was sitting in my space and contemplating and going into my space of connection. And what I got in my space of connection is an image of a fish. So I'm just going to step into it just in a second for myself here. And I feel compelled to give you a little bit of guidance at this moment. The story of a fish. But I want to hand you a key today. It's a key from Spirit. We've heard the old adage of give a man a fish and he will eat for a day. But teach a man to fish, he will not only feed himself, but his entire family, community, and everyone else he's associated with for a lifetime. Now, today's key is a gift of Spirit. I want to speak about the key of connection. The key of connection is about understanding that we're in a space that is a multiverse. Each and every frequency is interconnected in and of itself. There is no separation between the three-dimensional world and the physical. Beg my pardon. And the physical. There's a story in that too, clearly. Because what I'm understanding here and what I'm being shown is our illusion of separation between ourselves and that outside of us. It's just illusionary. It's illusionary because we think there is a space between us and another person and an object. But what I need to help you understand today is the balance of frequencies. It's just an illusion. There is no separation. When tapping into other dimensional vibrations of spirit, of our passed on loved ones, what you need to appreciate is the fact that they're here. That they're not only here, but they're here to guide us. That is their sole purpose and journey when they enter a different frequency. But there are many other frequencies within the frequency. The symbology of the fish and the story of give the man a fish, he will feed himself for a day. But teach him how to fish, he will feed himself for a lifetime. It's the story of understanding the interconnectedness of the space, of the connection in which we all reside. We have roles to fulfill. We have journeys. and lesser known journeys to travel. Yet we mistake our three-dimensional reality as our only journey, as our only reality. What you need to understand is you exist in many different realities all at the same time. There is no separation. There is a point where you become your own ancestry, and your ancestry are there as a guidance. It's a higher understanding, appreciation, love, and value for the journey, the greater journey, not just a three-dimensional one. The symbology of the fish has been used throughout history in many, many different contexts. But I want to point out the hieroglyphs and the understanding of the netters. In the Egyptian hieroglyphs of the pyramids. What that is an actual visual representation and understanding of the interconnectedness of our system, of the different frequencies, vibrations, realms, as you will. This is the key that you got handed. Even in biblical, this is the key that you get handed. The understanding that through knowledge, one can not only walk their journey with more understanding, but one understands the accountability of our journey and our path, and how expansive, relevant it actually is. You hear, do unto others as ye want to be done unto thyself. In the greater scheme of things, whatever you do unto yourself. Remember, there is no separation. It's just illusionary. We've spoken about polarity before, but I'm going to bring it forth again. You get to choose with free will on what side of the spectrum you choose to stand. For love and hate are the same emotions, and there's plenty of grey in between. I see people and their misalignment and misunderstanding of their realities and spreading misinterpretation and fear as a means and a mechanism of control. I want to step into something I became aware of in relation to a certain individual out there, a misinformed individual. And I know you're watching. Welcome to our world. Have you heard, no weapons forged against us shall prosper? The spiritual laws aren't there to frighten people. Ancestry is not there to attack anybody. Thank you for the confirmation. that was a knock. The spirit world outright informed me, because I understand the power of knowledge. And I also understand the power of doing the wrong thing, the polarity. Spirit informed me, there comes a time you must give them the vehicle, the bike. But just like as children, we first jump onto a bike, chances are we're actually going to fall off. We might graze a knee or a buttocks. We may ride into some prickles. This is the process of learning how to navigate your vehicle, or in this case, your spirituality, and that is which is granted to you from the spirit world, higher knowledge. The misconception is that none of you are accountable for what you do. That's furthest from the truth. Your ancestry aren't here to beat you up, nor are they here to cast voodoo or anything else to anyone else. The time has come for the lift of consciousness. The time has come to start hand in hand in harmony with each other and the whole human race. The time has come where now you have been granted and gifted vehicles and left to your own devices. Fear-mongering and thinking you have got greater power over other people by handing them a big plate of fear. Well, reciprocity. You give what you put out. Full stop. Ancestries aren't here to be attacking nobody. They're here to support you, love you, and help you move forward in this three-dimensional reality. I want to actually address the actual specific person here. The answer is, why did the chicken cross the road? Now, to the soul out there who likes to strangle chickens, you know who you are. The answer to why the chicken crossed the road is this. There is a lady in the spirit world. She's knitting. You would know her as Grandma. Now, she's putting down her knitting, and she puts down her glasses and peers over at you. Dear child, the reason the chicken crossed the road is because it's protected by ancestry. Your foolish behavior has not gone unnoticed. Now, Grandma, what is it that you're knitting? And she shows me a small little jumper. It's yellow in colour. It's got a bit of red and a bit of orange patterns on it. Now, you've got to understand, Grandma speaks about her lovely iron necklace, which got forged specifically for her in her time. It's a lovely piece of jewellery. But it's not. It was specifically designed for her. Now, this is evidential for those who like to play with chickens, if you know what I mean. As a big lesson for you. Number one, Grandma is asking you to stop trying to step into someone's shoes, for you don't belong there. Not only that, Grandma wants to inform you she never wore any. Grandma is now sitting on a wooden chair, rocking backwards and forwards. Grandma knows what goes on. She sees all. The building behind her is made of wood. It's painted white. Grandma learnt that she sees many things. But the message is, dear child, don't put your nose where it don't belong. Ancestry sees many things. Grandma also worked on the fields. But the reason Grandma now is sitting on a chair, knitting, is because she came of the age where she no longer could use her physical self to gather. But Grandma has wonderful cooking skills, you see. And she liked to cook sweet apples that fell off the farm that she worked on. The head of the household was partial to the sweet apples that she would make. And now Grandma has been in charge of the kitchen for a very long time. You see, this was the release of her shackles. Grandma's message to you is use what you have in your most dignified manner in order to prosper in life. Taking the easy road out is not the easy road out. She's asking you to clean up your act and to step into your own power of dignity and not to mess with things that will be your undoing. And she says this with great love. But at the same time, Grandma shares information, but her words are very sharp. That's verifiable historically. She didn't mince her words, and her words were cutting. That's another layer for you to research and understand. Burning people's images in bowls and expecting to do something which is beyond your scope and measure is an act of futility. Go put, number one, the consuming stuff that you do that takes you out of your mind to one side, and go make yourself a useful human being in the 3-dimensional, and therefore you will be rewarded. Put what you have, what you really have, your real skills, out there. It's the law of reciprocity, my darling child. You get what you put out. We suggest that you come to your senses, because ancestry isn't there to punish you. The only thing that punishes you is the Most High. Because from where I stand, I can validate what you think is the truth. It's just an illusion of your upbringing and those who surround you. There is no greater force than the Most High. The Most High is indeed everything, inclusive of the lesser energies, which you think are the only ones in existence. We're giving you this with great love and endearment, but you've got to understand it's so interwoven. Every reality is part of everything. The key here is there is no separation from anything. Do unto others as you wish to be done unto you. And remember why the chicken crossed the road. They saw you coming. Thank you. Now, what I would like to do is, if people want a reading, please press the like button and highlight your name in the comment section so that we may grant you the reading. In that way, we can be a gift of service to you, because what I've become aware of is that when people press the like button, then take it away, what they're actually doing is they're messing with the algorithms. What they're also doing is disrespecting the energies, including ancestry, for they want to be heard, spoken, and guide people along their journey and path. They want to reach out to others. But when you start to mess with the system, I'm actually hearing the system will mess with you. Just saying. So please, can someone tell me who like number 1 is, if you would like a reading? And if not, in the room at the present, can someone put their name in the comment section and I shall do a reading for you? I think that well-versed mediumship, an example, has actually been heard loud and clear by those who needed to hear it. It pleases me that you actually heard it loud and clear. Don't mess with what you don't understand just because you think there is power in deception. There isn't. All right, my beautiful darling E. Woody, I'm going to go to number 3 on the like button because I see number 3 in front of me. E. Woody, let's have a look at what the cards and what you need to know today. All right, beautiful soul, the number 43 has come out, which is 7. I hear the song, I've got the music in me, I've got the music in me, I've got the music in me. Someone's asking you to share your voice. Let's see where you find yourself at this particular moment, Ewoody, in relation to sharing your voice. It's asking you to identify, reframe, and enhance that which you know. It seems like a little bit of a challenge at this stage, but you're being asked to do just exactly that. It's the color green here. It's about restructure. So it's about restructuring your heart, your passions, and what you know. You will take flight because I'm understanding that this information is guided information. The archetype of the Avenger. But it's in reverse. I feel someone resorted to physical restraint in order to silence you. It puts you in your shell. That was the challenge, but it's in reverse now, which means it's been granted. The gift was to grant you a stronger voice and to step into oneself. I see here the challenge was financial stability. And people have taken your kindness for granted in the past. Let's see an outcome for you, my darling. Number 4. Or number 3, sorry. 3. In saying that, I labeled you number 4, which means you're going to go and step forward in your journey. So you're going to take a step up. There's going to be a level up for you here, is what I'm understanding. So from where you're standing now, you're actually going to step a little bit higher, the next level up. You're leveling up, basically. And I'm understanding that's also going to be a financial level up as well. What's landed in your lap? The lion, which means you're raw. You will find your voice. It will land in your lap. And this will also be for your finances. Discomfort is in reverse, which means that your discomfort is going to end. Also, I'm understanding here where your hands were tied and you felt like a puppet under the control of others. That grief is now also going to end. I feel the control, the mechanisms of control. I'm hearing take the shackles off my feet so I can dance, which means you will be given the opportunity to walk in your authenticity. What's hidden? You may not understand it, but it's actually healing. It's healing energy. But it's come through great challenges in life and pain in order to heal. I want to pick out a card, and it's a flower, because I'm going to tap into even a greater awareness in relation to a flower. What I have here is the flower of crocus. And the message is breathe, calm, rest, stop, and just be. So the sense here is that you are stepping into the stillness after the storm. I'm going to actually physically go onto the internet for images, and I'm going to bring this flower up. Can you give me a number between 1 to 10, please, E. Woody? Eight. Thank you. Hey, Woody, I'm going to give you a flower reading right now based on a random image that's come up that's in front of me. Hey, Woody, I'm going to say to you here that you belong to a large family. Some of them have great passions, and some of them provide you with great joy. I'm also understanding here that ancestry and the angels stand among you. Right at the center, you have 5 petals. The petals themselves have lived a long journey. They have weathered many storms. One of these petals, thank you, has been gouged out. There's a fragment of it missing, and you would understand it. And it's in relation to the heart space. I'm going to say, focus on your joy, on your love, on your happiness. For I understand first of all, the grass is greener on the other side. But I also understand when you focus in on yourself and your joy, the grass will be green where you stand. Because I understand also that from the bulb stems others, which is also the growth of family and the expansion of the lineage, which is also a fortuitous lineage in many ways. And from the graces of God Himself, you will be blessed with many, many gifts. And I feel there's many wise words from your ancestors. I want to say there's 4 in particular who served you so well with love, honor, dignity, and compassion. Thank you. I sense great pride. There's tears, but I sense great pride in this as well. I'm also hearing we are wiping away your tears. Literally, someone's doing this. Because we love you. Because I'm hearing again, all the leaves are brown and the sky is grey. I see you going for a walk. To catch your thoughts. And it was quite chilly, crispy in the air. Because I get a sense here your nose is actually cold and running. And you actually shed a few tears in this walk too. What I've just been told is your tears will turn to gold. Now, may I leave that with you, E. Woody. Beautiful. Okay. I see a name of Henry. And I see your number 3 in the likes. This is where I'm understanding what happens with technology. when you press the like button and then withdraw it, it messes up with the connections. This is just evidential for me as what happened yesterday with a connection. Now, Henry, I don't know who you are, but I'm going to give you a message. I don't need your birthday, Henry. In fact, I don't need much information from you, Henry. I'm just going to ask you to not rob yourself of the moment and the gift when Spirit connects into you and grants you information. Because as humans, we start to doubt the information and the connections because you start to question, did I give the reader the information? Or did the spirit world hand the reader the information? Henry, I'm going to outright say to you, someone had taken your place in the physical world, and I feel it's work-wise. But I also feel that through diligence, it got replaced, handed back to you, the situation. Because I feel that the ducks were in alignment, which means the proof was in the pudding. The paperwork was in line. I feel there was a celebration behind this as well. A toast with alcohol. So it was a victory and a win. Because I'm getting the sense that truth does prevail. Sometimes it takes longer than we expect it to. Because things done in secret are crafted very cleverly. But the victors get the last laugh. And I see a lot of laughing here as well from an ancestral point of view. I get a name of Grace. Grace or Gracie. It's a lady from the spirit world. She's got a roundish face. She's got curly-ish dark hair. I'm going to say black. And I feel that her skin color is pale. Gracie, Gracie, Gracie. Thank you for the confirmation. Gracie wore a suit. Gracie wore a white suit in the time where I feel, actually, that this is in the time where women started to wear suits, but not suits and ties, just suits. Because I feel here she's more bare-chested here, so she's got the suit. This feels really workplace related to me. Because I feel she's in a man's world. But she's been around long enough. Because I see slight wrinkles on her chest as well. Yes. So that's a little bit of a giveaway in relation to her age. Because this doesn't reflect the rest of her. You would understand this. Now, yeah, I've got a tap. When I say thank you, Henry, I'm not sure whether you've experienced this channel before or my readings before, but the spirit world provide me with confirmation by tapping on my walls, my roof, and everything else. So when I say thank you, I'm acknowledging them, because what they're actually saying is they're acknowledging what I've said to you is correct. Okay, that's confirmation for myself. Thank you. Now, the thing is, family. We choose our family. And I say that in this way, and I want to say it very sternly, because this is what this lady has said to you. We choose our family. And that's relevant. You will be able to verify that in one way or the other. Thank you. I'm getting an office space here, but she's at a desk and she's surrounded by lighter stuff around her. Objects, I want to say, decor. That was her style. She liked it. I hear the word class. Yeah. She says it's classy. And she actually took quite a lot of pride in this as well. It's all about how we present ourselves into the world. I'm hearing it's not what we have, darling. It's how we present ourselves that matters. And she smiles. She's got this smile to her, but it's a one-sided, more grinny smile. It's a smile of acknowledgement. Appearances matter. And it is all about appearances. And she smiles. And she speaks about graces, but good graces. And she smiles again. I'm understanding here what you put in, you will always get out. And now I've started to develop a bit of a specific way of speaking. So I hear, mind your words. So you would understand with her. It's not just the look, external, but it's also the presentation that we give oneself. And the way we enunciate and present ourselves is the way that we're being shown out to the world, and it's how they perceive us back. I'm also hearing the word darling. So she used this as well. She liked to wear heels, but shoes that were classy, but also sensible heels is what I'm hearing. And there's a joke here about unruly codes of conduct in relation to dress sense. And as I said that, she laughs. She goes, you would actually understand this. Yeah. She laughed. She's like, do you understand the connection of Anne Winters in relation to this as well? Because she's bringing up this name for a specific purpose. And I'm hearing codes of conduct and precision. And also being the embodiment of the powerhouse that you embrace. She's also given me the understanding that you only have to latch onto one specific thing, which gives you your uniqueness, your branding, is what she's saying. It's identifiable. And stick to it. She's also saying, I'm a stickler for this. And now she gives me a big grin, as to say, yes, I was, but I'm not that much of a stickler when you knew me that well. You know, my raw was one thing I presented, my power, yet my softness and heart and embrace, my love and admiration for those around me. It's just another thing altogether. It was her real sense of joy. But now I'm feeling it in the pit of my stomach. So it says to me that those she had dear to her she would always just get feelings about people. She would know, is what she's saying. She'd get you. I would get a feeling in the guts, in the pit of my gut, is what she's saying. I'd get a gut feeling about people. Both ways. And I was never wrong. Or very rarely, she says, but I'm going to say I was never wrong. You know? Good judge of character, this lady. She could feel it in her gut. In the pits of her stomach. She says she can feel it in her loins. You would understand this because this is a bit of a. This is an in joke for her, yeah. And I feel like she was mother, yeah, very much mother-like, yeah, like mother. She's yeah, this mother hen, yeah. You can rely on her, right? Is what she's saying. To I feel henpeck you. And there's this big grin and laugh behind this. There's a lot of pride behind this as well. Yeah. It's like, wow, that was my job. That was my role. Let's henpeck the hens, is what I'm understanding. Yeah. This woman comes across as a no nonsense. Yeah. And she really was no nonsense. I hear the word, she's given me the word repatriated or repatriated. Yes. Does that make sense to you? Number 3. Repatriated. Which makes sense to me. I'm getting the understanding you were there was a situation you were ousted and then you've been brought back. Because the truth always prevails. The proof is in the pudding, is what she says. Yeah? The proof is in the pudding. I'm going to say it this way. She makes a joke about the flambe. In other words, setting the pudding on fire. And what a theatrical experience that one was. But don't you know that just added to the razzle dazzle of the whole presentation? Thank you. And then she grinned. She laughed. She like, ha. Yes. Do you actually understand that, Henry? Being thrown into the fire, but that's the whole theatrics of it. It got people's attention. And that was part of the whole. That was part of the whole stage production, is what she's saying. Yeah. Part of the whole, you know. Cards now it's like we're serving it on a silver platter. And everyone's going, oh, in awe and admiration, right? That's what I'm understanding. Thank you. And I feel there's a reference here of someone now who's a stuffed pig with the apple in their mouth. Ready to be served. For lunch. As roast dinner, I'm hearing. Ready to be, roasted, baked, cooked. Till it's golden brown, I'm hearing. Ready to be served. For consumption, thank you. You would understand this, right? She was very particular the way she used to say things, and you would find that she would say things in almost a code-like way. So she would say one thing, but she actually was saying something completely different. But this is her language, and she would communicate with people. So I'm hearing, so in front of her victors, they would have no clue what she's actually saying, right? You're going to understand them. She's saying she was more clever than what they pegged her to be. But I feel that people started catching on that she was actually quite clever. Stealthy. A stealthy fox is what I'm getting. Yeah. A very cunning one at that. If you wanted to lose your chickens, she would be the one to steal them off you, just so you know. That's just evidential for you. And she's giving it to me this way. Yeah. But she also said she would steal your hens. HENS. It'd steal your hens. And she laughs about it too. So, yeah. Right. Now, Henry, may I leave that with you? I've given you a lot to digest there. And I feel that that's the gift that keeps on giving. Yeah, I need to say that. Because it is. And I hear it's a legacy as well. And well done, you deserve it. It was written for you. And it's in the paperwork. It's in the legalities, is what she's saying. The legalities, darling, the legalities. Don't worry. It's in the legalities. And she smiles. Yeah. With all my love, Henry, may I leave that with you. So that is what's in store for you in relation to your question as well. I'm hearing cheers, cheers, big ears. And there's a toast. It's like a champagne, yeah, in a long fluted glass. Ching. May I leave that with you, Henry? Okay, so that was number 3 on the like button. Well, on the new like on the button. We've done E Woody. Who's number 4? Do I have number 4? Namaste, Henry. Do I have number 4 on the line button? Please. Yes, we do. Okay. I'm hearing, it's always nice to see you, said the man behind the counter to the woman that has walked in. It's always nice. And I'm hearing jazz and music. I am sitting at the counter with the man who pours the coffee. Right, okay. Okay. So that's significant to number 4. Number 4, you're probably not here. That's all right. It doesn't matter. We're just going to take that energy and roll because this is what's coming to me now. Take it as it resonates. I feel that you've actually given kindness to people. You've expressed kindness. It will be the graces of your success, your kindness. I feel that you understated the level of kindness that you've given. Sometimes the smallest gestures are the greater gifts because you just never know. You just never know. What you consider to be a small act of kindness has actually has changed someone's life. I heard the name or the word kindless, but I'm hearing the reference of timeless. So that the one that you've helped has been subjected to a long path of ill intention towards them, and the generosity of your gesture is beyond measure, beyond your comprehension. I get the cards 3, 9, and 2, 6. So I'm just gonna right. So I'm going to choose this pile here for this. Now that's the core challenge, but I find myself doubling up with cards here. So the 3 pile has also a 5 underneath the 3, which means change. Your core challenge is change. I just need to tell you that. All right. It's finding your way, or your why, sorry. Finding your why, finding your reasons. But I read that as finding your way. Yes. So your why and your way are the same things, right? When you find your way, you will also find your why. Okay? Absolutely. When you find your way, you will find your why. So in the scheme of moving forward in life, as you navigate your way, your why is associated with this as well. So your life experience, even though it's in a challenge position, thank you, is actually your solution. It's the gift of knowledge that you've been given or granted. It's the difficult life situations which we have been gifted and granted. It doesn't feel like a gift or a blessing until you understand that an alcoholic can only help an alcoholic, a drug addict can only help a drug addict, someone who's had certain issues can only help someone with certain issues because they understand the mechanisms of the cycle. So it's more about the expertise behind your life and your navigation of your life, which is giving you the blessings of knowledge, understanding, compassion, empathy, sincerity, love, and all the rest of it. So when you find your way, is also you finding your why. Yes, that's the challenge. Because I feel you're still in a challenged predicament. But I'm also feeling that you're finding your way. And that's the challenge, is maintaining your path, your motion forward. Just keep at it. Your way is your why. And your why was your way. You see the multi-layer of this all. Right. These ones here are sticking out to me. So I'm just, okay, it's falling out. My body is rich. I am abundant. I am provided for. So really it's about yourself. It's about the self-care, which will also provide you with your self-care. Your body is an obvious example of nature's abundance. Hundreds of billions of cells are provided for, which means it doesn't matter where you were on your journey, right? It's all about the system, which is you, is so supportive on your journey of healing that it will help you move forward because you're always supported. I'm pretty sure you're understanding where this is coming from. I embrace a life of infinite breakthroughs and personal growth. My journey never ends. Reinventing the body and resurrecting the soul is a journey. I mean, I can't actually make these up because these are actually just literally verifying my intuitive downloads. Yeah. So now it's written in the cards as well, which actually is significant. What I've just said, it's actually written in the cards. So it's part of your journey, your destiny, right? And there was a time you lost your vision, right? But that's all right. I'm hearing the great unveil. I'm hearing the 20th century fox. And the big lights shining, yeah? So this is the big unveil, the big unmask, yeah? That's how grand you're resurfacing into the world and the journey, yes? It's very impactful. I'm pretty sure there are going to be many mouths that are going to drop. Like, what? It's like turning heads, yeah? Literally turning heads. They're just like, that's unbelievably unbelievable, right? And that's the gift. Your why is your way, and your way is your why. All I can say is the word empowerment is beyond an understatement. Not only for yourself, but for others as well. They are empowered by your journey. And it's all about your words as well. People will listen. They really will. At this moment, the universe is listening through your ears, seeing through your eyes, and experiencing through your brain. Your purpose for being here is to allow the universe to evolve. What I love about synchronicity and the space we're in, it provides you with verifiable, evidential moments to show you on your path and on your journey that you're going the right way. Each and every time. Doesn't matter where you are. Even the things, the random things that you mistake as insignificant are actually beyond synchronistic. They're being placed there specifically. They're just waiting for you to walk to that, and then walk to that, and then walk to that, and then walk to that, right? And I'm getting a sense of laughter here as well. So when you start really recognizing, because you will really start to recognize, you're going to have a sense of joy behind the synchronicities. And it's actually going to bring you quite a lot of joy, balance, love, and happy times. Yes, the happy times are in the synchronicities. And everyone that you've known is going to see you shine, undoubtedly. Like, the message here is, I am infinite potential. I am infinite potential. Right. That synchronicity. I went to stumble on my words, right? Which says to me that you have a fear of not holding true to your words, to yourself, right? What I want to say to you outright is that don't worry about the trips, yeah, the falling off the graces, because just like I corrected myself, you can do an easy course correction because you'll notice it coming before it happens. Your concern is falling from grace. And I'm going to say to you, it's not going to happen so long as you keep yourself in check, and that's exactly what you're going to do. You'll know. You will know. Now, so may I leave that with you? Number 4. We've done number 3. We've done number 3 twice. We've done number 4. Amanda, I love you too. Now, let's see. Is there a number 5 in the house? I just want to say to you, Amanda, that Michael is okay. I don't want to trigger you before you go on a drive, but I want to say to you, Michael is okay. Yeah. And yes, there are a lot of tears and there's a bit of a shock, but Michael is okay. All right. And I'm getting a sense of here as well. My left side's gone a bit numb. Right. So, yeah. I will tap into that further when the correct time comes. I just feel right now isn't 100% the right time. But I have to say there's a numbness in the legs as well. Just as a confirmation, right? There was a numbness in the legs. It's like I felt I felt a numbness in my legs first, my upper thighs. Mm. Mm. Yes, okay. He's just giving you that, okay? Just so you know. He felt the numbness first in his upper thigh. All right. But in saying all this, I just want you to know, thank you, that he's okay. All right. But we'll tap into him when the right timing is. Okay. All right. Amanda, I will leave that with you. Right. And with the just, I'm hearing just take it with the good graces of God. The good graces of God. Okay. All right. Number 5, Miss Sedalia. Ah, Miss Sedalia, what do we have in store for you? As I say this, I see an open pit fire with a big chunk of meat with a they confirmed it for me, so I'm just gonna say it with you. With a skewer up its butt. So it's being roasted, but it's an open roast. Yeah. That's what I'm being shown. There's rocks and there's wood which was a fire which has now gone into embers and coals, and now it's like a big rotisserie of this animal. I I I don't know whether this is a thing, but I'm getting a feeling that this is a hog because I'm getting big teeth. Yeah, hog's teeth, and I'm getting fireworks with this as well. So the timing is fireworks. Yes, hog, Hog, hog. But I'm getting fireworks, but not city fireworks. I'm getting fireworks in the distance where we're releasing fireworks by hand. And I'm also getting someone grumpy who's going, well, they better watch what they're doing and where they're doing it before they set everything else on fire too. Like it's in the surrounding area. Because I have a bit of a grumpy pants here as well. A gentleman, grumpy pants. Yeah. A barnyard full of hay he's talking about. And they better be careful they don't set it on fire. Because I get a sense here also that the ones he's speaking about didn't actually pay much attention to many things. They're a bit, they didn't think properly. They didn't think things out quite well. So I'm getting here. So it's quite possible that they've done many not so clever things in the past. And I'm seeing here something in relation to what looks like a go-kart of sorts, or something that resembles that, and things going kind of left, like askew is what I'm saying. It's just like it's almost like it's meant to go here, but it's done a turn for the worse and kind of, and people have fallen off it and they're rolling. I'm getting a sense of it's going down the mountain the wrong way. Like done a turn and then it's kind of rolled down like a hill or an embankment or something along those lines. I'm not sure whether you can verify that for me. But he's just sitting there, and I feel like he's got a pipe as well. He's like smoking this pipe kind of thing. He's just like a bit beside himself. There is a young man almost burned out my storage building with fireworks. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. It's relating to fireworks and setting things on fire, or almost, because they're not really thinking straight properly. Yeah. It's a young man I know. I offered him as a hooping. I have no idea what that is. All right, let me see if I can Google this. Oh, they rode those in country. All right. Is this the thing that they fell off or rolled off a mountain with, or an embankment with, or something like that? They rode those in country. All right. I'm gonna have to look this up because this is fascinating to me. It says try a different spelling. All right. I'm not going to be able to see it. He flipped off backwards and hurt himself. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. What I'm understanding is he's going down something, but then it's done this, and I see him rolling off, like going the wrong way, which he flipped off backwards and hurt himself. Ass whoopings. Thank you. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is I'm seeing it going down like an embankment, a hill, or a mountain, or something like that, and it's doing this, but it's done this instead, and it's like rolling now. Like the whole thing's rolling. It's toppled over. It's rolling. A hill. Thank you. Yeah, I'm saying it's like a downward thing. It's like a mountain, a hill, embankment, something. But it's going down, but it's done this, and then it's done this. Hmm. All right. So that's confirmation for you. Right. Okay. So this gentleman that's bringing all this ass whooping. This gentleman from the spirit world who's got the pipe. He's not overly impressed. He's like, he's a yeah. The best way I can describe it is it looks like, the pipe that Popeye um allegedly smoked, or whatever it was in his mouth, right? Something like that. This is what it resembles, that this gentleman in the spirit world is actually putting in his mouth, like, yeah, and he's holding it, and he's like, he refused to put on a seatbelt. Yeah, well, that makes sense. But this gentleman in the spirit world is holding this, and he's like, it's it nothing surprises him, is basically what I'm saying. He's kind of used to these shenanigans. He's like, well, he's married now. That's all right. But yeah, we want to understand the man that in the spirit world, though, with with the pipe in his mouth, like he feels like he's unfazed. It's like, well, I, it's like, I mean, how could we not see this coming, kind of thing? It's like, well, thank you. show me or present me something that I don't know, is basically what he's like. They're sitting there putting this thing in his mouth, like looking like, like, yeah, tell me something I didn't know. Like, he's unfazed. He's like, yeah. Hi, Charlie. Good, thank you. Yeah. So yeah, it's like there's nothing phasing him. But I want to say there's going to be an event. It's either happened in the past where there's been a roasting, like as in, it's a celebratory thing, right? So thank you. So it's unlike a significant yearly thing. So it's either a New Year's party or a Christmas party or something like that. But it's celebrating a major event, right? But it's outside on the coals. So we're cooking something. Like it's like a rotisserie thing that has to be rotated over and over and over again. You can't just leave it there. But it's like a big chunk of animal. Yeah. Thank you. That's what he's referring to. So if that's not something you can recall in your past, then it will be to come. But I feel it's like either New Year's or Christmas. It's something like that. It's an anniversary of something. All right. And it's a major thing. And this is in relation to, I'm going to say, this hog. That might be actually a double entendre. Yeah, double meaning, the hog. Yeah. Thank you. So yeah, it's in relation to the hog, is he's saying. But it's a double entendre, so he's saying something else. All right, and you would understand the hog reference in relation to this hog. There's a celebration, there's a and it's a significant excuse me. Yeah, it's a significant thing in relation to the hog. Yeah, it's a celebration, it's a major celebration in relation to the hog. And it's a double entendre, is the only thing I'm going to say. Half of cow or hog or pig, yeah. All right, so you understand this. It's all right. I feel like it's like a hog, it's a pig, yeah, it's like a hog. Yeah. Yeah. How did you spell it? HOWG, hog, yeah. So I want to say hog, but the way you've written it, hog, yeah, but it's not in my vocabulary to say it that way, but yeah. It's a chunk of animal anyway. It's about a celebration. It's about I feel it's either a Christmas time thing or a New Year's thing. It's a major event anyway. And it's in relation to the hog. Yeah. So it's a double entendre there. So however that resonates with you, it is not outright saying something specific, but he is, but to you, not to me, to you. No, it may be coming. Thank you. Well, it's specific to you. You'll understand it. You will understand. It's all right. And I'm also hearing the words, it's always nice to see you. Right? So this gentleman's acknowledging you. Yeah. I'm getting a sense that he's always putting a bit of an eye on you every now and then. Not all the time, but every now and then. He's always, you would understand this in the physical world as well. He would always keep one eye on you. Right. But every now and then. It wasn't like, you know, but every now and then he would like look. Yeah. In fact, I feel he would really look, like really, really look, and then he'd be like, "All right, cool," and feel like he would get a sense of satisfaction. Yeah, he'd look, he'd get a sense of satisfaction, and then he wouldn't need to look again for a while. Feels like he would check in and out, check in and out, check in and out, check in and out, check in and out. Yeah. So that's what I feel like. He would like really focus on you and look and look around, like see, and then all right, cool. Nothing to see here, and then but then would do it again. This is what they did in life, but this is what they're doing there as well. I'm hearing replicatable, yeah, and also the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. I think I'm probably giving too many of your secrets away, Mr. Dahlia, so I'll just zip it at this stage. Right. Now, I see there are 8 likes. So who's number 6 on the list? Is number 6 here on the list, live with us? If number 6 isn't live with us, I will just do what shall I do? We'll first go with the desired state. Hello, Miss T. I'm going to call you Miss T. Yeah. Your desired state, Miss T. All right. First of all, I'm going to say things come in threes. Outright to you. Things come in threes. It always happens in threes. And we're talking about change coming in 3. You can ask a question. Charlie, you can donate. So change comes in threes. Relation to a man, male, masculine energy. 2. I feel that you've got a choice to make here between 2, but it comes in 3. All right. One of them has a third-party situation. I'm going to outright say it to you then. But change comes in 3s. Again, 2 comes up. So, okay. Change comes in 3, 2. Right. You agreed. Thank you. I'm going to say to you, if 1 and 2 situations aren't to your flavor, there will be a third opportunity, a third different variable. Yeah. Because 2 of them are replicatable, which means they're kind of like the same thing. Same thing, different days is what I want to actually say. Right? Same thing, different day. It's almost like we're twins, if you know what I mean. It's replicatable, like staring into a mirror, which means there's only a little bit of difference between the 2, even though they're opposites. You'll understand this. They're giving it to me cryptically. Yeah. And you feel that I can't make it up. You feel you got only a few cards in your hands, and again, another two has come up. Wow. All the twos in this small little pile of the things that have come up for you again. All right. Again, things come in threes. There will be a third opportunity, right? Okay. Just be mindful. You think that you don't have many cards in your hands. Just be mindful. That's just your misinterpretation. You actually hold more cards than you think, but you don't need to hold that many. Either is what I need to say to you. Thank you. All right. All right. I feel that we don't need to play a game of poker. Right. So we don't need to hide behind our hand. Right. I feel that you can be a little bit more expressive, a little bit less guarded, a little bit less poker faced. Okay. You understand that. All right, cool. Yeah. Because things come in threes, but I'm going to say they might look similar, but don't judge a book by its cover. All right? They look similar, but don't judge a book by its cover. So, threes. Thank you. So, the next one, yeah? Don't judge a book by its cover. It may look similar, but it's not. The parody of opposites is what I heard. That's what I got given. The parody of opposites. Right. One of them's a bit smarter than what you think they are. I'm going to say it this way. If it looks like a nerd, sounds like a nerd, laughs like a nerd, it is a nerd. Thank you. But that ain't a bad thing either, because a nerd is also very clever. It's just you might not see how clever, as in intelligent, intellectual, it is, because what it's presenting or how it looks and what it really is are two different things. I feel a sense that it looks a bit too goofy for your liking. Yeah. With a bit of a unique look. You'll know. I'm going to say it's not exactly your 100% what you would go for. Perhaps there's a little bit of a gap in the teeth or something here. There's something here, right? That's how people do me. I am the nerd. All right. There's a gap here in the teeth as well, right? It's not your usual that you would go for, right? He's different. All right. I'm going to say it my way. But I say this absolute love and affection because, I like this anyway. Sometimes the way we describe things and what we actually like, they come across as saying something completely different when you're not actually saying anything different. You're actually saying it with affection. Right? This one looks like a big nerd, right? He looks goofy. But that's the joy of it all as well. Because I feel that there's a very unique underlying personality there that will serve you very well. Because I'm also seeing here because I'm being shown the way he's dressed, which means he's a professional and he's a provider, right? So everything that you've ever really wanted comes in the shape of a book nerd that deals with books, numbers, numbers, numbers. Numbers is important. Numbers, numbers, numbers. Numbers on repeat. Numbers, 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 numbers. Yes. And be on the lookout as a synchronicity for the number 22. How that presents itself, I'm not quite sure, because it could be varied as a table number on a restaurant somewhere, like, there's the number 22. Could be that random, but it's there. It presents itself. Feel it's a little, feel it's like a little thing, and it's got 22 on it, like a little tag on a table number. That's what I'm being shown. So it can be that kind of representative. What have you said? Books and numbers are very important for me. Yes, I see 222 and 22 a lot. Thank you. Well, in relation to this nerd, who's not exactly what you seek, but he'll be recognizable to you. You'll notice him, right? For his extra nerdiness, right? Because he sticks out like a sore thumb. He's goofy, and you'll think he's goofy. You'll be like, for real? Like, what a goofball. But that's visually as well, right? Be mindful with the 22 reference in relation to this, right? Okay. Child is due on the 22nd of October. I am actually 5 months and some change pregnant. Child is due on the 22. All right, there you go. All right, well, is that number 3 by any chance? Is that child number 3 by any chance? That's my brother's birthday. No. Different person. Is that your 3rd child? No, my 1st child. Okay. All right. Well, look, I'm just going to hand it to you. There's a choice of 3. I don't know what's going on in your life, but there's a choice of 3, and there's a big nerd here who's got a gap in their teeth and they look really goofy, right? And significant. It's a bookworm, and it's a relation to 22. This is my 3rd pregnancy. Thank you. That's it. That's what I'm saying. If it's not a physical person that you're going to meet, and so I said, is this the 3rd pregnancy? Because it's replicatable, right? Because there was a 2, there's a 2, and there's another 2, right? And I said 3rd time's the charm, right? And that's why I asked you, have you been pregnant before? Was this your 3rd child? So 3rd time's the charm. Thank you. Come with the 1st and 2nd. Yeah. All right. That's what you're worried about, right? 3rd time's the charm. All right. Whatever transpired the first 2 times is not going to transpire the last time, right? The 2 of them were mirror images. Okay, so if it's not your physical 3rd child, but this is your 3rd attempt, that makes perfect sense, right? 2 of them were replicatable. One's looking the same, but it's not. And yeah, I think I've kind of given away a little bit more Oh, that makes much sense, right? Because I think I've given away that it's a boy. And it's gonna be a big nerd like you. I don't know whether you can verify that. I'd be more than happy to find that out as well. But yeah, it's replicatable, right? So yeah, nerd, nerd with a gap in their teeth. All right, but yeah, all right. I might have given away a little bit too much for you to actually. You may not have wanted to know, or you may know. I'm not sure, but yeah, yeah. Makes sense to me. 1, 2, 3, replicatable. That's what his dad said, a boy. Well, congratulations, it is a boy. It's a boy. It's not exactly what you're expecting. Um, there'll be a gap in the teeth. It's going to be intellectual, numbers person, going to be very professional. Uh, yeah, goofy personality, goofball, right? Okay, so uh, so yeah, that's what his dad said. A boy. Well, yeah, dad knows best. I want to laugh at that because usually they don't, but anyway, but we'll give it to him anyway. Yeah, all right. Did you want to know? That was the question. He was not what I was expecting, but grateful. um, can I just ask one little question? Because I'm curious now because I'm on the other side of the planet and I don't know you all that well. In fact, I don't actually know you at all. Are you in a multiracial relationship? Right? Because I feel this child's actually going to be lighter skinned. Now I don't know what color you are, but yeah, I just get a sense of goofy as goofy. You know how Goofy has a? I think they got a gap on their tail, yeah, with the big ears. Goofy. Oh, all right. Enough said. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, it's okay. I know because I don't want to refer to a child as a girl. Yes, multiracial. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. You're going to get what you're not expecting to get. Is what I really need to say. All right. Goofy. Yeah. Very unique looking with a gap. Yeah. They're going to have a gap. Yeah. Oh, cool. All right. May I leave that with you? Because that's what I feel. I feel there's a yeah. I'll put it to this way: it's going to resemble one parent in one way and one parent in the other way. All right. Wowzers! Yeah. All right. Thank you. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. All right. You know, as a reader, when you kind of like all of a sudden realize you've just put your foot in it. um, yeah, it was just one of those moments just there. I'm like, damn. All right. You're gonna get what you're not expecting is all I'm gonna say. It's gonna resemble one parent one way and one parent physically the other way. Thank you. Yeah. So whoever looks goofy, it's gonna resemble them with a bit of big ears and a gap in their teeth, and then physically, yeah, and mentally, it's going to be the other way around. Yeah, so it's going to have one character traits of one parent. That makes sense. That's the mirror reflection. That makes sense. I'm staring into a mirror, but I'm staring at my opposite. That is super funny. It's super funny to me as well because I realize there comes a moment where, as a reader, sometimes you go, "Oh, I've just put my foot in it." Oopsie. All right. So yeah. All right. That's all right. All good. All right. So we're looking at the mirror reflection, but with the opposite. So we're looking at the opposite, right? That's what I said before. I recall that. So it's like I'm staring at twins, but they're the opposite of what I'm looking at. So yeah. All right. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. One of one and one of the other. That makes sense. Yeah. I see the sense and humor in that too, to be honest with you. Um, I really do. I mean, two, and then two came out, and all right, cool. Yeah, all right. Just know it's going to go fine. All right. You may not feel that it's going to go fine. Or you may be worried because you may feel like you don't have many cards in your hands, but you do. All right. You have more than you think. All right. May I leave that with you? Now, that was was it 5? I forgot what number I was up to. No, 6. Yeah. Arthur's having a seniors moment. Yeah. That's probably every day and then some. Oh, Charlie, did you end up doing the? That is very true about the worry factor. Thank you. Yeah, look, you're welcome. All right. You just feel like you're not holding enough cards, but you are. You're holding more than enough. So don't worry about it. I am now. Okay, cool. Yeah. What were you saying about did you donate or whatever you wanted a reading or something along those lines? And I'm very happy that you find it. That's all right. Because I hope they don't stare in the mirror and look at me like. Then you got trouble on your hands. I have to say, then you got yourself a lifetime of sarcasm and then some. There's so much to ask about Daniel, please. Daniel. 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 I've missed something. Daniel. I don't recall. Was that something we've said previously? As a reader, yeah, it just comes and goes. I can't possibly remember what I've said to people. It just every now and then bits flash into my brain. He's a man I am in love with and think he hates me now. Okay. All right. Uh, okay. Mm. Didn't I vaguely recall I said something the other day about that. Didn't I say something about that the other day? Okay. Alright. There are so many mosquitoes in my house. Okay. Mosquito. Right. I'm getting an intuitive thing here. You know, with mosquitoes when they sting you, and then you get the urge to keep on scratching. But when you keep on scratching, you're making the problem worse and worse and worse. And the more you scratch, the more scratchy it gets. Yeah. What I introvert. There's been right. There's been a miscommunication of words. And there's also been words exchanged which once spoken is hard to be retracted, right? But there's also been words actually left unspoken as well. Okay. So in the heat of the moment, I feel like someone's going to say something and they haven't said it. But you see, when you stop scratching something like a mosquito bite, it stops being itchy and eventually goes away, right? Like nothing ever happened. I want to say the element of time is what's needed, right? Because I feel time heals all wounds. So there needs to be a break for fresh air, which means on both sides of the equation, right? There needs time for fresh air. In other words, times of solitude. To breathe again, which also gives us a sense of reflection. And again, I'm hearing the word which I heard earlier is repatriate. So in other words, bring back into. Okay? I'm also hearing the words, you don't know what you got until it's gone. Right? So there's an instance here where we need to be away from a situation in order to see the situation more clearly. And by seeing it more clearly, we can come to a space and a time and understanding what the situation meant for us, right? Now, that's on both sides of the equation, mind you. Because there's an instance here, and I'm going to outright tell you, someone has overstepped someone's boundaries to the point of, I'm going to say it this way. I'm actually going to be really blunt. Someone's overstepped someone's boundaries to the point of suffocation, and they feel that they can't breathe. Now, which one of you two that is, I don't know. So the space is required because it gives you the element of self-reflection. Both sides, not just one, both sides. Which also gives you a bigger picture, right? In order to regain what once was, one must appreciate what one lost in the first instance and also why it unfolded the way it did. And given enough time, space, and the mechanism of self-reflection and being able to breathe, the value and the validity will make itself crystal clear. Yeah. It's like muddy waters. If you keep on shaking them, they get more muddy. But if you allow the mud to settle, yeah, to go to the bottom, you get the pristine, crystal clear waters. Okay. And that's where you can drink from. That space. Not, thank you. Not in the muddied waters. You can't consume muddied waters. You will choke. Yeah. It's not nourishing. It will choke. It will choke you. Right? It will just kill you. It'll be the death of you. You need to wait until the muddy waters subside and you get clarity. And then you consume from a different place, a different space, a different angle, but it's healthy waters. Right? So let's have a look. I'm not sure what you wrote. Let me see if I can see it now. I guess if you felt suffocated, talking to me a couple of times a week. It needs a few times a month, and I need just get over it and move on now. It's just still there. It's okay. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Allow the waters to settle, right? Okay, because right now there's muddied waters, and you really can't consume the water at this stage, right? It's not consumable, right? Allow things to settle, right? Then your clarity will come and things will be crystal clear. And then when you go to drink from the well, so to speak, it's actually nourishing because it's healthy. I'm getting knocks here. So however that unfolds for you, right? But you need to give it time for that mud to go down, to clear, right? Then you'll get the life, the nourishment, the life-giving nourishment that you seek. But if you try to consume toxic waters, it's not going to go well. Okay. So I'm just going to say, give it an element of time. That's the best answer to your question. Give it an element of time. Give it which will allow the space of reflection, right? Thank you. Good knocks. Which will allow for the waters to not be muddied anymore. And then you'll be able to consume from the well, is what I'm getting, right? Now that's symbolically, but I feel here that someone's mm, yeah. Yeah, look, someone feels inconvenienced, right? Is what I'm getting here. It's nagged, inconvenienced. And there's many things spoken and some not quite nice stuff, and some things were left unspoken, right? They went to say something, but they didn't, right? Which means that you don't know the entirety of the story. Yeah. But other things were said in anger. Thank you. So there are things that were said in anger, and there are things that were needed to be expressed, but they weren't. So the time and space for reflection is exactly what's needed to clear, number one, the muddied waters. But then if the only way we can come back together is by those things that have been left unspoken to actually be spoken about and be unveiled and unmasked, right? That's what I have to say to you. There was something that was to be said but wasn't said, right? Which means there's something here that was left out of the equation that one party doesn't know about. And that's why I feel a sense that someone's been feeling like they're being bugged, right? Or hounded. Because there's something here there's something here left unspoken, which is the truth. Yeah? You don't know everything. That's the point. And that's all I can really say about someone without having them here and giving them a reading, so to speak. Because it's, in many ways, it's not really my place to be I started this live with esoteric wisdom and knowing and understanding, right? And it's about staying in your own lane and not stepping in other people's shoes, right? Because even though everything is a part of everything and everything can be tapped into, there's a level here where there's even though you can invade people's spaces and try to step into their shoes, you really, as a reader, must be mindful, right? Not to be stepping into other people's shoes inappropriately, right? Because there are rules and laws that govern even the physical world, right? About not getting into people's business. But this is a replicatable thing as well, which means even in the esoteric realms, in the realms of consciousness and frequency and all that sort of stuff, being able to look into someone's life, right, it's a thing that can be done. But it's the question of ethics and integrity of whether or not another person should be doing it. And I'm going to reflect right back to the beginning of this live about people stepping into other people's shoes and doing the wrong thing. Okay. So this is why I'm a bit hesitant in doing love readings and readings on other people outside of yourself, which haven't been presented to me for specific reasons, right, by the spirit realm and that, right? Because it's kind of unethical, an invasion of privacy, right? So this is why I'm being mindful as well as to what I'm giving you. I'm just going to give you the steps, and the steps are: give it time, allow the waters to settle so that you can consume from a healthy well. Just know there were things left unsaid, unspoken. There really were. And in due course, if they choose to, through the process of their own free will, they will disclose what they need to. Yeah. And if they don't, it goes to speak volumes in relation to authenticity and integrity and all the rest of it. Yeah. That's my authentic, genuine, sincerest answer to this. Yeah. As I said, this is why I don't like doing love readings or readings on third parties outside of yourself unless they actually come up. But then when they come up, they usually come up for a reason of something you need to know, as opposed to things that we want to know. Yeah. Pit stop. Hello, everyone. Please hit check out the notification bell. You can gift a membership to someone in the live also. Thanks for viewing the channel. All donations are appreciated. Likes are important. Miss Sedalia, if you're at a pit stop, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. True. We don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater, but yeah. I believe I know what you are speaking of. Thank you. Yeah. I believe you do. Yeah. It's just, we need to be mindful. Okay. Give it time. Time is the best element in this, because I feel the word repatriate came back in, right? So that could be two-edged, double-edged, right? It has nothing to do with me. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm. No, it doesn't have anything to do with you. Okay. Yeah. It doesn't have anything to do with you. It's not you. It's them. Yeah. But they need to speak, not me. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna say it this way. God's rejection. Sorry, rejection is God's protection, right? But there's bigger pictures here. There's bigger pictures involved. They might not be clear at this stage because they usually aren't. It's usually in hindsight. And sometimes it may not necessarily be exactly what we think it is. Right? That's right, Mr. Dahlia. Thanks for the update. So sometimes it's not what we think it is. Thank you. But there are bigger pictures, bigger cycles involved. And bigger reasonings. Yeah. So I'm hearing let go and let God. Yeah. Thank you. I don't know where that came from, but I don't know whether any of you heard that. But yeah, let go and let God. So yeah, and that noise doo-doo in the background, I'm not quite sure where it came from. But yeah, yeah, to me that's just confirmation. Okay. So let's have a look. Who else was on the live or presented themselves before? Charlie, can you please send Miss Sedalia a Cut Above Tarot email when you're free? She has a question for you. And it's probably better being in private, is what I have to say. Okay. Beautiful. So send Miss Sedalia an email and she will take that from there. All right. Now, who else is on the live? Because I saw some people say hello, but when I'm in the space of actually connecting, I try not to get distracted from. What is your email address? Click on a. You're welcome. Click on a Cut Above Tarot in the description box, and it will give you the everything. Check info in bio on page, please. Yeah. Okay, so there are 8 people here. Who haven't I done today? Awesome. I'm glad you found it. Yeah. Mr. Dahlia will interact with you and take it from there. However, that's sorted out. Okay. Hey, Woody, thank you very much. It's a very wise saying. I've learned the art of detachment. It's something we need to learn, or we do learn. But once we do, we also learn other greater things. We experience other different things. And there are times we're not stuck in repetitive cycles, because the art of detachment is also the art of breaking certain life cycles that just are on continual repeat, like a record that keeps on going on and on and on, yeah. Just repeating itself. But in saying that, it's, I need to figure out how to open my heart again. It's time. Give it time. Remember the muddied waters that are settling to the surface so that you can consume the healthy fresh waters. That's what we're talking about here. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. Is there anyone else on the live that would like to have a reading? That's kind of in the background. That's a bit frightened. Mm. I guess this is my opportunity to express myself as a reader in the most authentic way possible. And that is, it's easier and more popular to tell people what they want to hear, as opposed to telling them what they need to hear. But the gift of service and healing is more about truth, not about putting sugar and spice and all things nice into situations that just don't serve anyone, because they don't. Absolutely, Woody. It is the process and the mechanism of healing. The truth will set you free. That's something you'll hear over and over again over your space of your lifetime, many, many times. And the truth really does set us free. But I find that there are times where people don't necessarily do the right thing, because they're not in service for other people, they're in service for themselves. And that always comes full circle as well. So I don't think that's the most cleverest thing either. Deception is never the key ingredient to any successful anything. Might be a momentary situation of joy and celebration, but it's momentary. There's a saying here that my mother passed on, which is really relevant in this case. The thief and the liar will celebrate for their first year. Full stop. Which means it's only a temporary gain. It's a temporary celebration. But then things come full circle in relation to the laws of reciprocity and the space that we're in. You don't get anything out of, deception. And it's momentary when you do, but depending on the levels of deception and what you put out there is what will be served back to you, usually tenfold, if not more, depending on your level of service, I guess, in a negative sense. Right. Is there anyone else in this live that would like a reading at this stage? Anyone who I haven't done? All right, I'm just calling out, see if there's anyone else that would like a reading at this stage. Barry. Oh. Not necessarily, and not all the time, right? It depends on the level of wanting to be identified, and it depends on the mechanism in which they're being presented. Now, in a space and time frame where we may not necessarily want to be identified to the masses, thank you, we'll use a term or a frame or a terminology or an alias pseudonym, which the recipient would understand, right? But that's for the recipient to understand. Because sometimes we affectionately know them as Barry, but it's a reference point. It's a reference. But it's a reference to a greater, bigger picture. Okay. And there are many reasons why people would want to be identified and not identified, even with the verifiable information that's been given to a three-dimensional person. There are many reasons why, even on this medium, people would want to be identified and not identified. But it's a point of reference and a contact, if you know what I mean. It's a way in. Because they might be speaking about characters, aliases, specific references, street names. Or even something like an affectionate dog they may have labelled in a certain way. Right? Okay, so that's the thing, right? Okay. Yeah. The term Barry is significant, right? But you see, that's in the digging, right? Because as readers, we also become aware that we do specific things. Thank you. And it's based on the symbologies. I want you to contemplate that. Mm. It's yeah. So I'm saying it's in the symbology. It's mm, all right, okay. I realized afterwards because when I'm tapped into spirit, sometimes things unfold and transpire. But because I'm not using my human intellectual, I'm reading energy and the rest of it, it becomes apparent a little later what's actually transpired and how it's transpired. But you see, there are certain things that you don't want to be, thank you, broadcasting to the whole world. You know what I mean? So, and I'm pretty sure you'll understand that. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people that would understand that. There was a gentleman, and I do recall this because this is very specific, but there was a gentleman from the spirit world who presented a nutcracker, and the recipient's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I said, it's in a statue in a building. And then the penny dropped. Yeah. All right. And it's like, well, there are certain things that should be said in certain ways only because the person giving the information wants it to actually be expressed in certain ways and not in other ways. Right? Because each individual here, there are elements where we don't want to be telling everyone our business. Even us, even me, right? And in the spirit world, they get really clever because they want you to know, but then they don't want everyone else to know certain things. And with myself, sharing a personal experience was when I got a reading many moons ago. Beautiful. That's very synchronistic. Again, I seem to recall those numbers again. I was being given a reading in a venue from someone who I knew was the real deal. Yeah, like she was indisputable. But the information she gave, well, I smiled because I had the inner knowing that what she's saying and how everyone else in the room's interpreting it and hearing is actually not what I'm hearing at all. But it was done in that way. And it was done in that way from the messenger, specifically for myself, because of the level of information and what was being granted and passed on, right? So there's always going to be that, especially when they want you to know certain things but don't want to say other certain things. There are times that you don't and you shouldn't be broadcasting your business out into the world in certain ways. Now, let me share with you a bit of a funny story. Well, it's funny now in reflection, but it was a bit of an eye-opener when it was happening. I was in a development class and I was just following the lady in spirit, translating what she was saying. And I said something, and I'm going to tell you, I was 1,000,000,000% on point. But the recipient wasn't aware of this life factor in relation to this lady and got really triggered, but didn't express outwardly that they were triggered to me. And I had a very, very, very well-versed medium who was my teacher, who said to me, "Oh, I didn't get that." And it was in that moment I realized I need to back off on that. But you see, my mentor was very, very, very clever, because part of the whole class was to not only just be doing the act of getting verifiable evidence, it's also listening to your class members and learning off them. And that was just as equally important, because you get it just as much understanding, respect, and learning from everyone surrounding you. And that's the lesson. Sometimes we need to listen. But she's so clever and so stealthy. It was about 3 or 4 weeks later. She's just randomly having a conversation like I am now. And she goes, and this is where I realize she's speaking to me directly, but you have to be paying attention to realize who she's speaking to. And most people that went over their head. But what she said in that really synchronistic moment was, because of who I am, I get many, many things from the spirit world handed to me. But there are times where we have to learn a bit of discernment, right? Because sometimes they might not be things that people need to hear, right? For many reasons, right? So even though you're capable of getting a lot of things, just be mindful sometimes. But you say, I knew she was speaking to myself specifically there in relation to the one very specific, very triggering information, which I didn't realize triggered this person until weeks later, when I was never confronted by it, but I heard the feedback. Yeah. Now, based upon the actual message that I had given this person, that was so on point, to the point of it was undeniable to this person, specifically for their 3-dimensional reality. Based on that, I knew that the information that I got given, the way I got given it, was true. But the person in the spirit world really wanted that person to know what I had said. So much so that they said it in a way that caught me off guard. Because as it unfolded, did I have oh, I know what she's saying, but it came out of my mouth, right? So to go back to answering your question, these are the things that do happen, yeah? And they don't happen because, you know, I have ill intentions or anything like that. But the spirit will give you things in specific ways for specific reasons, whilst also maintaining specific realities of the person as well in the three-dimensional world. They're a reflection there. It's not that they're the same people now. They're not even people as such. They're an energetic expression of who they were. It's just giving us, thank you, it's just giving us the impression of what they used to be so that they're identifiable to you and me here. If we start to describing someone who was actually quite, let's just say someone who had the capacity of being a bit rough with people, right? Who had a capacity of being rough with people, right? But now they come through, and my expression of them is, oh, they're a loving individual. They've got your back and they're supporting you and blah, blah, blah. And you're like, that sounds nothing like the person you're speaking about. In fact, they were the opposite. Well, yeah, they were in the 3D. It doesn't mean they're that now, just giving you an identifiable, verifiable reality of their 3D, your experience with them, right? So many things get presented in many different ways for a specific purpose. Okay, sometimes what's being said is, it's stealthy, right? It's a mixed match of mixed bag of things. Yeah, you would understand that. Yeah. I very rarely am privy to the comments. Yeah. I'm on a phone this big. My screen is half the size, and the thumbnails are half the size of my fingernail. Because I've had people go, "Oh, I'm in the picture." It's like I can't actually see the picture. It's just a blur of color at the best of times. And when I'm connecting into it deeply, I'm actually not looking here, I'm looking there and everywhere else, because I'm stepping into the situations. I'm actually visually seeing things unfold here. So there are many times I don't look there, and when I look there, I'm actually just making contact with the camera as opposed to anything else. People didn't actually realize that when I actually lean over and do this, I'm actually trying to move the screen to see if there's any feedback as to what's on the screen. And I'm trying to read comments, because they just flash. Sometimes I see them, sometimes I don't. Yeah. Okay. Well, what I'm saying to people out there is that when I'm communicating with the spirit world, the majority of times I'm actually not even looking at the comments. Something might flash, I might see something, but it doesn't necessarily mean I see something from you. I might see something from someone else. The thumbnails that you might be seeing on your devices, they might be bigger depending on what device you're using. I can't actually see. Like if you've got a photo of your face, I'm going to disclose to you, I can't actually see the photo. I can just see a blur of colors. the icons are half the size of my fingernail. That's all I see. So the circle of my eye is actually bigger than the physical picture, which is actually at arm's length at the best of times. Because I've got a table in front of me and I've also used cards at times and all that sort of stuff. So majority of times I'm not privy to your comments. Now, so I'm not actually relaying what you say, but there are times you'll see me bend over and closer to the screen, and what I'm doing is I'm trying to flip through the comments section so that I can see what's going on. And some people going, "Oh, that's what you're doing." Yeah, because the phone's well, it's further than arm length away, right? That's why I'm doing this and this. Yeah, I'm actually trying to find. And also, the reality is, and what you actually don't know, is that I find it really difficult to be reading smaller writing anyway. I actually need glasses. There was one, here we are. There was one live that I did use some glasses to read really small bits of, yeah. So I can't actually see that properly anyway. I understand what Arthur is saying. I think he misread what I just said. That's what I'm saying to you. I clearly have. I haven't. That's evidential for you outright. It's happening live, and clearly I've misread what you've said. Yeah, I got that bit. So yes, that's I have misread it. But that's what I'm saying. I can't see it properly anyway. So let me just have a look. Oh, okay. All right. I shared a moment of synchronicity that happened for me after our first reading, but I shared it on the pic of Arthur with his healthy snack. All right, I'm going to go and have a look when this is over. Yeah. All right. All right. Cool. Thank you. I'm a shit. I shouldn't assume anything. It's either me eating a green bean or it's me eating an avocado. One of the two healthy snacks. But anyway, let me show you a really funny story. Right? Have you ever seen anyone eating an avocado like an apple while driving a vehicle? Let me just tell you, I got a look and a half from many different people. Yeah. No, I was sitting there licking my fingers, so that would have looked really special too. Jesus, readers with other motives. Okay. Yeah, I don't funny one, right? All right, Miss Sedalia has actually asked me to please explain readers with other motives. Okay. All right. I'm going to address this issue very much so. And one of the reasons I started the live off with mediumship for a lady in the spirit world who was a grandmother, right, is because we've actually had a few people get really clever. Because when I'm giving people esoteric information, which means information that isn't widely known, right? And people know certain bits of this information, but they don't know the bigger picture or the fuller picture or the truth. And then you have other people out there who like to misappropriate information and then start to attack other readers based on this misappropriation and twisting slanderous version of the information. And there are others who like to consume consumables whilst doing this stuff as well. Now, without having a clear mind or clear intentions behind what you're doing, number one, you're causing more harm than good. But not to someone like myself. I need to express you're actually doing more harm than good to yourself. It's the law of reciprocity, because ancestry is watching. And not only your ancestry is watching, everyone's ancestry is watching. Right? Now, if you're sitting there off your face in a car, casting shade, using other people's information and twisting it because you actually think that everyone's going to believe that you're actually connected to the spirit world and you know what you're talking about, you're going to get clearly labeled a clown in a circus, number one. It don't matter how dark your glasses are. People are going to know you're stoned off your face and you're a bozo of a clown and that you need to get over it and you need to go find yourself a life. Right? And I want to make it clear, right? The vibration of our consciousness and where we are is raising, it's shifting. Right? Yet some people are so stuck in an old paradigm of self-importance that they want to keep and hold things and actually cast shade on those who are doing the exact opposite. That's lovely and amusing. But a thief only celebrates the first year and then rubs their eyes for the rest of their life. Right? And the lady in the spirit world, the grandma, which is a bit further back than grandma, but, you know, we'll affectionately call her grandma, who was once a slave in shackles, right, was here to tell her darling hereditary offspring that you need to go find yourself something else better to do. And burning people's images in bowls to cast shade and all the rest of it, and sacrificing chickens, is probably the most nonsensical, stupid thing that you could be doing, right? And I'm explaining this because Sadhguru asked me to explain it. Now,